What is up, you guys? It's your favorite tarot reader, and I am back. Except for I'm not back with another read. I am back with a smoke session, honey. Period. Okay, y'all. I tried to film this video last night, but I was drunk, so I didn't really like go over too well. It was copyright in the music, so I didn't get a chance to post it. But we here, and I feel like I've gathered my thoughts, and I know an idea of like how I want to play it or whatever. Okay, y'all, so in this video we will be talking about unconditional love. If y'all came over from my Facebook because y'all saw that I posted the video over there and y'all just thought it was funny as shit, like, thank y'all for watching. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so I kind of want this to be like how I manifested my husband / my twin flame video as well, but I feel like those don't get as much views, so I might title it as both, or I don't know what I'm gonna title it as, but pretty much I feel like God has really kind of sat me down, and I've been talking about this for like the last 3 days, just kind of being sat down in different areas of your life for different things, like why God will sit you down, you know. And I feel like the sit down is the talk, it's the preparation, it's the hey, let me prepare you for what's about to come. So basically, I feel like when you are ready to meet your soul tribe, like the people who are going to be around you forever, you know, your best friends, your business partners, people that you have just made connections with, people who you may not see all the time, but it's always love, people who are going to be in the same career field as you, people who you are going to just know, significant others, your life partners, building relationships with your family members and stuff like that. Because me personally, I believe in a soul tribe that looks like everybody is winning, everybody is doing something that is about their purpose, everybody is walking in their purpose and in their mission. And I feel like family wise, I would love to own land where my family can have different homes on the land, and we can all kind of be together, you know, like without having to be together, you know. So building these relationships with these people, I feel like is so important right now. And the unconditional love that people think of is always conditional, always conditional. And my love had been conditional for so long, so long. For me, it was so easy for me to cut people off, it was so easy for me to get rid of people in my life. And I'm noticing, one, you have to be able to decipher who is a life lesson, like who is teaching you something, who is supposed to just be here for a moment, versus people that you're supposed to go through shit with, people who are going to put you through shit, people who you are going to get through shit with, right? So as y'all know, I'm manifesting my husband, and I was manifesting a best friend, I was manifesting a better relationship with my daughter, and I was manifesting better relationships with my mom and my brother. Those were like the main relationships in my life that I felt like I wanted. I really wanted a friend, y'all. I really wanted a close friend. I really, since I was a little girl, been manifesting a husband. Like, since before I even knew what a husband was, I'm sitting here manifesting a husband. And more recently, I've just been really coming into myself as a woman, and that makes me want to be better for my daughter. That makes me want to show her better. Me and my relationship with my mom, me loving myself, has taught me to love her more, to have more compassion for her through my relationship with my daughter. So I feel like it's real easy to break up or to leave people when you don't know what unconditional love is. And that's the position of life that I was in, especially with my spirituality and how I can read vibes and how I can tell energy and how I know certain people who aren't for me. My gifts have heightened to the point where now I can see the value in my relationships with people. I can see the value in the struggle that I go through with people. I can see the value in that person being in my life even if they hurt me. And it took a lot. Like, it really took God sitting me down. And I feel like this is when the breaks happen, or you and your friends stop talking to each other, or you move out of your parents' house hella fast, or whatever it may be, you know, with your person. And I feel like when God takes you away from somebody, or allows you to miss them, or even just like if you don't have nobody and you've been single for a long time, or maybe you moved out of state and you don't have your family, or maybe you're just not close with your family, you could be adopted, you could just not have friends, you could not gravitate towards other people, you know, you could be an introvert, all these different things, right? For me, I feel like God was really like, Caprice, you are so quick to leave people that you've even become easy to leave me. Because when I was a kid, my mom used to tell me to pray, and I didn't understand what prayer was. So I had a relationship with God. I was praying. I knew that it was a God, but along the way, going through shit, like experiencing shit, it's kind of like I broke up with God. You know, I didn't have that unconditional love for God. I didn't understand that just because God puts you through things, just because God may hurt you, it doesn't mean that she doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that you aren't still in the middle of a blessing through that hurt, through that pain, through that struggle, through whatever God is putting you through at that moment. And God really had to sit me down and make me be alone to realize, like, when I'm upset or something, I'd be like, God, what the fuck? Like, what are you, like, what, like, that's me. I'm going to be very open and very honest. That's me. I'm very quick to blame God or ask why, or be like, fuck this spirituality shit. This shit not working. Like, I have said that. And it's really, it was really, really easy for me to do that. And then it's always easy to just come back when you need something, or when you feel like God is blessing you, you know? And I feel like that's the relationship that I also had with myself. So in turn, that's the relationship that I had with other people. So what God did was call me right up in that office. Sit down. Let me talk to you for a minute. Let's figure this the fuck out. And it's like, God was like, Caprice, you don't think you're worthy of connections that are long lasting? You don't think you're worthy of going through shit with people and working it out and having strong connections with people? Like, you don't think you're worthy of that? And I'm like, damn, hold up. Because I never thought about it like that. I never looked at it like that. Because I look at everybody around me, and it's like, everybody around me has had a friend since childhood. I have not. Like, my longest friend is my best friend Shaquan, and she moved, so we don't really talk as much. But I feel like it could be that, but I haven't felt that I was deserving of that. I didn't really understand what it meant to have a friendship, to have them do something that you don't like, and not just be like, oh, I'm gonna cut you off, but to be like, hey, I love myself enough to tell you I don't like what you did to me. Let's figure this out, right? Just like I would do with God. Like, when God do some shit that I don't like, I'll sit down with God and I'll be like, God, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? You know? So why is it that I couldn't do that with myself? I feel like I've really had to first work on my relationship with God before I could even love myself unconditionally, I had to find that unconditional love for God. I had to understand that God is going to put me through stuff. I had to understand that everything that God is putting me through is for my greatest good. Like, I had to understand that life in itself, we're going to go through things. It happens. We experience things. We deal with things. We have to fall. Even as a baby learning to walk, we fall. And we don't tell the baby like, damn, fuck you because you fell. We tell them to get back up, and we tell them to try again. And I feel like I hadn't had that mindset because because being hurt so much is kind of like the trauma teaches you, like, everybody gonna hurt you in some way, in some form, and somehow. So before they can do it too bad, let them go. But when it's time for you to have people in your life forever, when it's time for you to meet your soul tribe, when it's time for you to meet your life partner, when it's time for you to make connections with people who are maybe going to be lifelong friends, you know, who maybe y'all never speak, but they work in a business, and if you need a favor, you can get a favor because y'all know each other. You know, like, it's those kind of connections that are being made right now through self-love, through unconditional love of self, through unconditional love for God, for the stuff that God puts us through. Like, that's unconditional love. That's how you know you're ready. When you have that unconditional love for God, and you just like, fuck it, I'm gonna accept whatever you put me through, and still love the fuck out of you, and still pray, and still believe in you, and still have faith. Once that happens, then it turns into self. Then you become ready to forgive yourself for the things that you do. Forgive yourself for the things that you don't like about you. You are able to then forgive another person for the things that they do. Have compassion for them because you look at them like you look at you. That's what God will do for you. When it's time to really, really love yourself unconditionally, God will make you love her. Like, God will show you miracles. God will show you love and abundance and care. But God will also take you through something so you can be more appreciative, so you can see that this blessing was meant for you. This blessing was given to you because you deserved it. So the shit that we go through, whether it's with another person or whether we going through it with God, going through it fighting with ourselves, when it's time for you to love unconditionally, there's nothing that's going to stop that process. It's like a boulder going downhill. There's absolutely nothing that's going to slow that down. Because once you become accepting of God, anything is possible. Anything can happen. Because guess what? You can have anything. If you love God, you gonna know that God has her reflection in you. You gonna know that. You gonna believe that. You gonna be shown that. And if you look at yourself and you know that you are a reflection of God, and you don't love yourself unconditionally, because no matter what I do, I'm gonna love me no matter if I'm wrong, no matter if I fucked up, if I'm guilty. Like, I don't give a fuck what I do. I'm gonna love me. I'm gonna love me. I'm gonna love my daughter. I'm gonna love my mother. You know? And that's just the family that you're born with. So how do you teach yourself to love somebody else unconditionally? How do you teach yourself to love somebody through what they put you through? You gotta love yourself and God first. That's how. Because you can't get walked all over. You can't allow a person who you love unconditionally to just do whatever the fuck you want. But that's not loving yourself unconditionally. That's loving them before you. That's what that is. That's why God got to come first, because God will show you. God will show you. Gotta show you exactly who you are. Gotta put you through hell. Gotta put you right through hell. This is hell right here. This is hell on earth. I don't believe in hell. So this right here, God will put you through hell. God will put you through the worst that you can imagine. Because you don't know your strength. Because you don't have love for yourself. Gotta put you through it. And guess what? Gotta get you through it. To be like, guess what? You got through that. And then you build up that strength. You build up that love. You build up that. Damn. Okay. That's the struggle. The things that we go through is building up that self-love. Because once you go through it, it's kind of like you should tell yourself, I don't want to go through it no more. I don't want to deal with it no more. I can learn my lesson through that person. I can let them go. And then guess what? When the next person comes in, I can love myself differently so that I attract a different kind of love. Because I've learned my lesson. That's what unconditional love for self is. That's what it is. That's how you begin to love other people unconditionally without losing yourself, without not loving yourself first. Like, because I feel like if you love another person more than you love yourself, like you love them unconditionally, like no matter what they do, you will still love them. But they hurting you every single day. Every single day. Or every time y'all kick it, or if you live with your parents, like shit, screaming at you every day, or doing something to hurt your feelings every day, or making you feel shitty, or shit, if it's your boss, whoever the fuck it is, like, and you just allow it to happen. Gotta be like, I love you too much. I love you too much. So God will make that person break you down to your lowest. Break you down to your lowest. And show you. Because that person, at the end of the day, is a reflection of you. So that person gonna show you who the fuck you is. That person gonna show you the nitty gritty of who you is. That person gonna show you everything about yourself. And you can look at that person like, oh, I'm blaming you for this, this, and this. Or you can love yourself enough to be like, well, why do I see that in that person? Like, what is in me that I can recognize that in that person? Like, why? Because I love me enough to figure it out. Because if I don't address it, then I become a pushover. Then it goes from loving you unconditionally to loving you more than I love me. So that's why we can't skip steps. Like, that's why if we do, that's where that break happens. That's where that no communication happens. That's where that sitting down happens. That's when that happens. I feel like I've been hearing, like, I don't know if it's a scripture or if it's in the Bible or something, or I know it's in a song too, but like, love is not boastful, love is not proud, love is not something. I don't know all of what it say, but I know I have seen it because somebody had posted it. Shout out to, I don't know if her name is still Jazzy. TAS, Task for Jazz. Shout out to her. I'll leave her link in the description box below. She had posted it on her story. I think I heard it in a song, and then it was on a video. It was on a reading that I was watching. So I feel like when you really are ready to be in a commitment, in a committed relationship, whether it's with your best friends, your relationship, a committed relationship with your parents, a committed relationship with your child, I feel like first, God is going to make you commit yourself to yourself and her in God's journey. That's the first step. That's what's going to happen first. God is literally going to ask you, are you committed to me? That means sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice for this? Are you willing to sacrifice a certain way of being so that maybe you can have compassion for this person? Or are you willing to sacrifice shit, I don't know. But I feel like we have to pay in something. We have to pay in blood, sweat, and tears. Like, we have to pay in something. And I feel like a lot of the times we have to pay in the things that we go through. We have to pay in our tears and our pain and our struggle. That's what we pay in. That's what we show God, like, okay, I'm ready. Because if you think about people who have been in relationships for years, or if you think about the longest relationship that you know, the longest relationship that I've ever had was me and my mom and me and my brother. I've known my brother his whole life. I've known my mom my whole life. If you think about relationships that have been long lasting, there's never going to be a time where that person doesn't hurt you. There's never going to be a time where y'all, like, everything is 100% perfect. Because y'all two different people living two different experiences. There's never going to be a time where y'all see things exactly the same way. Even if y'all agree, y'all not seeing it the exact same way. There's no way possible because y'all have lived through different experiences. So really learning to love somebody unconditionally means the sacrifice of self, learning about self, sacrificing the fear of not wanting to know yourself, sacrificing the fear of I could be hurt, sacrificing the fear of giving somebody your heart. Because I feel like best friend relationships are so underrated. Like, your best friend can really break your heart. Your best friend can really hurt your feelings. Not having a friend can really hurt your feelings. You know, and I feel like every person needs a person. A different person for every aspect of their life. I feel like every person needs a best friend. Because there's stuff that you can talk to your best friend about that you can't talk to your significant other about, or that you can't talk to your mother about, or your kids about. There's stuff that you can talk to your significant other about that you can't talk to with nobody else. Your significant other is your partner. They should know everything. Well, I'm not going to say everything because, like I said, it's stuff that you can talk to your best friend about that maybe you can't talk to your significant other about. So, I feel like there's an instance of everybody needs a tribe. Everybody needs their people. And when you really, really know that you need that and that we're not meant to be in this world alone, when you really grasp that, because they don't say it takes a village for no reason. Like, it takes reflections of yourself in every different aspect. I want to see myself as a friend. I want to see myself as a lover. I want to see myself as a mother. I want to see myself as a daughter. I want to see every aspect of me through these connections with people. And I love myself unconditionally to know that I'm ready to see me. Because before, maybe I wasn't ready. That's why I couldn't have these connections. You know, I'm ready now. I'm ready now. And it took God sitting me down. It took me not having friends to see the value in friends. It took me being separated from my husband to see the value in our relationship. It took me living alone to see the value in my relationship with my mother. You know, it take God sitting you down. It really does. And I feel like it's so important. It's so important to embrace the sit down. It's so important to embrace everything that God is allowing us to experience, because this human experience is a gift. Because this right here is like, we don't appreciate high school until we in college, and we feel lost as a bitch because we don't know, we not equipped to handle the shit. We don't have no accountability or something. You know, we went to MPS, or we went to a school that was a public school and we didn't get the best education. So we not prepared. We prepared. We are being prepared. This school, Earth is school. We trying to get home to God. I want to become an ascended master. I want the whatever the next thing is gonna be, because you know everything go extinct eventually. So I want the next thing to know about me. I want to be history. you know. And if I want to be history, I gotta learn about my history. I gotta see myself. I gotta love me unconditionally enough to tap into that, to ask God to give me those messages, to ask God to show me myself. And I'm not saying that everybody is meant to be in your life forever, but when you genuinely love a person, there's going to be nothing that that person can do to make you stop loving them. And if you feel like you don't love a person, then you don't love a person. That person is not meant to be in your life. That person is a lesson for you. That's cool too. But the real thing is learning to love yourself enough to decipher the two. Knowing when to let people go, and knowing when to hold on tight to the people who mean the most to you. Knowing when to accept people for exactly who they are, where they are, how they are. You know, learn compromise, learn patience. You know, allowing people to speak, listening to people, listening to yourself, listening to what maybe your inner self is speaking through the person that you're talking to. You know, allowing God to give you those messages. You ask to know yourself, and then you speak over a person that God has sent you. That's you telling yourself, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't love you enough to hear what you got to say. So I feel like everybody in your life, you should be treating like they you, because they're reflections of you. Once you love yourself and God enough to see it like that, to be committed enough to yourself, to be like, I'm finna learn about me. That's when you know that you've arrived to your soul tribe. You've arrived to your people. And even the people that's in your soul tribe who not gonna be in your life forever, but maybe like 5-10 years or whatever the hell. Even those people are a part of your soul tribe. These people are making your life different. They are molding you. They are showing you. Even if it's they showing you shit that you don't like, cut that part of yourself off. Change it. Heal it. Once it's healed, you no longer vibrate with that person. Throw them away. Not throw them away, but shit. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Period. Love yourself enough to get rid of shit that no longer serves you. Love yourself enough to be like, damn, okay, I don't see that in myself no more. I no longer align with that no more. That's not the person for me. But if you see a person and you like, damn, I'm like that, but I can deal with that though. I can heal that. I can go through that with you. Can you help me heal that in myself? Can you show me me? I still align with this. I still notice that I'm like that. Let me continue to heal me. That's love. That's love. You know, being able to forgive, because I forgive myself. Being able to see your parents and be like, damn, you know, like, however I felt as a kid, I forgive you. I want a relationship with you, because I feel like as adults we don't value the relationship with our parents. We don't call them every day, and even our grandparents, we don't call them every day, and even we don't have to. But I'm saying, like, we don't act like the relationship with our parents is a value, but we don't understand they are our greatest teachers. They've been through it. You know. But yeah, I hope y'all got some kind of insight. I tried to do this video so many times, so I don't even know if the message really was conveyed how I wanted it to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyway, this is a personal tea by me. I'm also wearing my waist beads. So if you guys would like to inquire about either of those, head over to my personal Instagram at CapriceCooks. I am taking personal readings. You guys can Cashapp me at @CapriceCooks. You can also email me or Apple Pay me at CapriceCooks@icloud.com. All right, y'all. I'm out of here.